Legion Tactical Cutlery.
Hold the line!
Hey everyone, how you guys doing? Grugs here, Legion Tactical Cutlery. Welcome back once again, troops, legionnaires, new recruits. As always, really appreciate you all taking the time to check out my channel and my videos. Okay, I'm going to try my hand at reviewing the newly released Wuben X4. It's a flashlight, and I am excited to show you. Pretty tactical looking flashlight and feature rich. Tons of functionality here, and hopefully it will meet your needs. All right, troops, what is everybody carrying? I've got my 704 gear Fang here that I'm carrying today. Let me all know what you guys are carrying. Veterans, active military. This might be a really good option for you all to take out into a field. Just want to say thank you very much for your service. Enjoy this video. All right, troops, so let's go over some of the external features and engineering of this knife before I get into, all the modes with the light. So let me just move this over. All right, so we have the main light and a side light. All right, we have a rotary knob. We have the button that turns the lights on and off, and all the different modes that this has. All right, we also have a toggle switch over here where we go from the locked mode to the side light mode, and then two options for that main light. Okay, let me shut that off. Type-C charging port. All right, we also have a tail button. I'm going to show you how that works, because you could actually turn on your strobe light from here in a hammer grip position. Okay, there's also a battery indicator. I'm going to show that to everybody also. It'll let you know if your battery is fully charged or if it's going to need some charging. All right, we have a pretty heavy duty pocket clip that's also removable, and we have the battery cap switch and battery cap lock. All right, there is a battery that is in here. I guess this is why it's kind of big. Hopefully it'll meet your people's needs. I think this might be very good for first responder, law enforcement, and military. However, for the civilian market, I think this will do just fine. It might be a little bulky for some, like if you're a hiker and you want something like this. It might be a little bit heavy, might be a little bit bulky for you. So this is why I'm reviewing it. Hopefully you will make that decision. Now, real quick, let me just show you the battery before we get started. So it is in a lock mode. So what you do is you unlock it and then you press this button down. All right, and you've got yourself a nice battery. Now you could see the model number. You can go purchase a bunch more if you wanted to, right? And you'll have a plethora of light for yourself for the weekend or what have you, in case you don't have some form of recharging if you're out in the field, if you're a hiker, hunter, doing some slight backpacking, maybe for the weekend, you take a few extra batteries with you, you are all set. Very nice looking, well-engineered flashlight. This is a gray model. Okay, it does come in other colors, so you're going to want to look at the links that I have to Amazon and Wuben themselves. All right, see which color you like. Now let me make sure. I think I've gone over everything, because what I want to do now is go over the light features of this unit. But before I do that, you know what I want to show everybody? This is the box that it comes in, all right? And I will show you this and everything that's inside at the end of the video. But I want you to take a moment to pause over here and take a look at all the specs and features of this flashlight. So you have a main light mode that can do turbo and Moonlight, all right? And it gives you the hours and the distance and the lumens. Then you have the side light mode, you have white light, RGB light, you have beacons, you have red, blue flash, you have red, green flash, and you have red, yellow flash. I'm going to be showing you all this stuff. I'm pretty excited. Take a moment to pause. You'll see some other specs on weight, dimensions, etc. Take note. I think it's worthwhile just to read this over. But yeah, excited. Let's go over the side light mode first. Okay, right now it's in the off position, so no matter what you do with the rotary knob, the button, the tail light, nothing goes on. It's locked. I guess it's a safety feature, obviously. If you only have one battery and you don't have nothing else to charge it with, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally turn it on if this is in your pocket or in your backpack. But what we'll do first is turn this on, click that button, and the first thing you see is the RGB light. Using the rotary knob, all right, we can start switching the light over here. So that's purple, this is blue. That seems to be a white light. And I guess that looks kind of yellowish. And then this is a little bit more like a brighter yellow, more deeper looking yellow. Then we have orange. And we are back to red, okay? Depress and hold, we go to the side white light right there, okay? Now I'm just going to use that rotary knob to start making it a little bit brighter. All right, you can see it's a little bit brighter. Let me just turn this over. And you can go from the low light mode to the turbo mode. All right, so let me just show you that option. Once you see a flicker, you can't go any higher than that. Same thing if you're going down, all right? And you see a flicker, you can't go any lower in lumens. So a nice spectrum of light here for the white light. You could have it upright. Grab whatever reading material you have. It's a nice little light, and then you can adjust it. Maybe this is in your tent, all right, and you need something to stand freely so that you could take a look at your information. It is capable and possible. So that's just a little demo of the side light. Let's go back down to the RGB light here. We're back in the red. All right, let me just put this away. If you hit that button twice, you get a beacon mode, okay? So maybe you have a family and you want to make sure that everybody's in sync. You might have the same color, you might have different colors, so you know who's who in the dark, okay? Or, if you're in a stack in the military or law enforcement, and for whatever reason you need the light, this is a possibility, okay? Double click again, it goes back to solid, in which case now you can switch your RGB mode to whatever light that you want in the RGB spectrum here, okay? And let me just go to blue, and once again you double click and it will flash. Very cool. Let's check out the beacon function. In the off mode, okay, and you want to make sure that you still have your RGB light on. In the off mode, you double click and you will get a beacon mode. This is the red and yellow light. Double click again, you'll have the red and blue light flashing. Double click one more time, you'll have a red and green light flashing. So in case you're out in the field, whether it's military, civilian, just pick whatever you want. But you want to make sure that you're talking to the right person, or you want to make sure that that person out in the field is the right person that you need to speak to. They can actually set the flashlight for the proper beacon, and you'll know exactly who it is. Maybe somebody's coming in from the field. You want to make sure it's that person, and you're over the radio saying, I need confirmation and they'll give you a code for red, yellow, or red, blue, or red, green. I mean, these are just scenarios that I'm thinking about off the top of my head. But that is, ladies and gentlemen, the feature of the side light. Now, let me shut that off. One other thing I want to show you, while in this side light mode over here, you have this tail button, okay? And in the hammer grip, you can depress it and turbo mode light will come on. Very nice, all right? So instead of holding it like this, maybe you have something in your hand, in your left hand, and you need more light. You can depress using this button right here, okay? Let's go to the front light mode and check that out. Here's the front end of the flashlight, very large. It's got 4 LEDs, very clear. Let's move the position from the off to the front light mode. All right, and with a click of the button, we turn this on. Now it is in the Moonlight mode. I can use the rotary knob to brighten this up depending on how much light you need, all the way up to the turbo mode. Now, if I keep on turning that rotary knob, again, you'll see a flicker letting you know that it's not getting any brighter. Same thing in the opposite direction. All right, you go in the opposite direction. If it flickers, you just saw that, it's letting you know you cannot go any dimmer than what you're at right now. A double click of the button will quickly go from Moonlight mode to turbo mode and vice versa, okay? Press the button, shut it off, you're good to go. Once again, maybe you're in a high stress situation and you have a hammer grip on your flashlight. No matter what mode that you're on, for the side light or the front light, you might have a weapon in your other hand. All you got to do is press that tail end button for that turbo mode, flash it in somebody's eyes, just in case you need it, maybe an animal, and you have your other hand free to work whatever other tool that you have in your hand. Another feature, again, maybe you might be law enforcement, first responder, maybe a civilian trying to protect themselves, okay? You may need to use a strobe light. So you double click and you got a strobe light right here, okay? And that will work for both side light and front light mode. Double click, you have a strobe light. Blind that person, blind that animal. Good to go. Now, let's just check out the Moonlight mode as the last lighting feature here. Okay, for Moonlight mode, you need extended period of time with the Moonlight mode. All right, you don't want to fumble with the rotary knob. You'll go from the off position into the Moonlight mode. And there it is. No matter how hard you press the button, double click or whatever, it will always be in a Moonlight mode. You will save your battery's life with this Moonlight mode. Turn it off using that tail end button. You can turn on and off and let the light stay on just by clicking that tail end button. Whereas with the other modes, it's just, you can't keep it on. You can't click it on full time. That's just the strobe light. Let me put it back. But if you need something extended period of time without you worrying about holding it, there is a magnet here, so maybe you need to use the magnet on something metal in your in your vehicle or in your tent, okay? And you can just stick it up there and now you have full-time light. But a very low light, there's that option. Let me just shut that off. Let me turn it off. we're good to go. Now let me show you what is in the box with this nice package right here. Here's the box. I put everything back in the box just to show everybody how it comes, brand new. All right, so once again, let me just move this stuff out of the way. Very nice box. Make a great gift. Once again, the back has got plenty of information that everybody could take a look at. We'll open it up. Okay. Wuben easy carry light. It opens up. You have a manual, which, let me tell you something, is pretty important because it gives you everything that you need to know what is inside, the contents of the box, the components of the flashlight, battery information, because there are some stickers on the battery to prevent it from losing battery power. Okay, so you have to remove the stickers. So this manual becomes very important. Operation modes, click modes, and also different languages. Lock, unlock. There's also a charging indicator, all right? And this is something that I haven't showed yet. I wanted to show you towards the end, but you could see there's light indications and different modes of the light, whether it flickers on and off, and it gives you the percentage of where the battery is at and when you need to charge it, okay? So I'll show you that. Very important that you have. This has got this nice box here. I put the light back in there just to show you. And you can see there is this box that has the Type-C charging cable and a lanyard. Let's open this up real quick. And let's take a look. All right. There's a charger. So maybe you might have a battery pack that you could take with you in your backpack, and then you could charge up your light. But then again, you don't need it because you could purchase another battery, okay, and have a secondary or tertiary battery with you. And this does have a lanyard, which I'd rather not use myself personally, but for those who are interested in using a lanyard, it is attachable to the light. Maybe your kids might want it. At least they give this to you as an option. And troops, this is it. This is the Wuben X4. Hopefully I've done some justice in showing you this new offering from Wuben. I am very appreciative to the Wuben representatives. Thank you for sending me. I really like this light. It's definitely pretty nice. So, thank you very much. There you have it, troops. I hope that this was informative and that you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the Wuben X4 brand new offering. It's a good price too. It's $50 for this. I mean, how can you go wrong? It's got tons of features, options to add more batteries. I think it's a great package, and I would love to know what you guys think of this pretty cool flashlight. All right, troops, legionnaires, new recruits, as always, thanks for taking the time to check this out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me bring awareness, everybody. Hashtag 22-day, hashtag 22-day no more. There are veterans and active military who wants to get out of the service. They do face a lot of challenges, and unfortunately, one of these challenges is suicide. So at the end of this video, please pause on the slides at the end. Call those phone numbers. Surf those websites. Read that heartfelt message from Martin Miller, one of your own Vietnam veterans, 66 to 69, U.S. Army. He's been there. He has gone through what you might be going through. Please seek the help that you all have earned and deserve. Troops, legionnaires, new recruits, thanks again. At the ready, hold the line. Take care.
Legionnaires!